All right, guys. Really excited to welcome Big Olu to the Jets. So the details of the trade, I don't know if you guys have it with Minnesota. We moved back one spot. We picked up pick 129 in the fourth, pick 157 in the fifth, and we gave Minnesota 10 and 203. Obviously excited about Olu, proven pass protector, left tackle. Feel like he can really develop and become an impact blocker for us moving forward. So, open up to questions.
Is that where you see him projected as the left tackle moving forward?
Well, I think that's what he's had his most success at in high school and college, and obviously been a dominant left tackle at Penn State the last 2 seasons. So, yeah, we've got a great room of vets that can take him under their wing, and great coaches that can develop him.
Joe, bring us a little bit through. I mean, you guys have given no indication that you're going to take a quarterback that high, and was that a little curious? Can you just take us through the Minnesota talk there? Because that was a little bit, unexpected.
Yeah, I think you saw another quarterback went shortly after Minnesota pick. So, I think for them, they wanted the security of making sure they got the guy that they coveted. And look, there was a lot of calls leading up to that pick. And there was a lot of calls when we were on the clock. So, it was really active to start this draft.
So the debate outside the building has been protector versus playmaker.
Yeah.
Was that a similar conversation inside the building over the last few weeks, months? And could you, just how did you land on protection?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I feel like we were in a unique situation where Coach and I, we watched. I mean, we burned our retinas out watching tape together over the last few weeks of the depth at pass catcher and tackle is really unique, and obviously the best players in this draft are playing those positions. So you saw 3 receivers go really high, and then 2 tackles went high, and so we wanted to make sure that we could capitalize on the best remaining player.
If one of those receivers was there, would you have stayed at 10?
If one of the receivers were there,
still there.
It's high. Those receivers are great players. They're going to be great pros. They weren't there, so I can't really live in that world. But they're going to be tremendous players.
What you guys have gone through on the offensive line over the last since you've been here, really. Do you feel like that's a position where you can't have enough players out there?
Yeah, you guys know me by now. O-line, D-line, the more the merrier. It's you can never have enough. I'll always argue that between the offensive and defensive lines, those are the only 2 positions that don't need other positions to perform for them to do their jobs, where every other position kind of relies on them. From an O-line perspective, to be able to protect the quarterback, keep him upright, allow him to go through progression so he can get it to our playmakers, and we do feel like we've got a bevy of them getting and improving our offensive line in free agency and adding to the depth, and the future of the offensive line was a big part of the discussion.
I mean, how valuable can it be for him to sit and learn from Tyron Smith in general this year?
Oh, it's going to be valuable. Tyron is we've gotten to know him through free agency in these first 2 weeks. Elite human. I feel like he's the first one in. Anytime I'm in the building, I feel like I see him. It's hard to miss him. Gargantuan of a human being, but he's an elite human, and there's between him and Morgan just so much wealth and knowledge and experience, and not only in technique but also just how to be a pro and how to prepare at this level. The young man's only 21 years old. He hasn't even scratched the surface, and he's walking into a situation where he's going to learn exactly what it takes to last in this league.
How much of a consideration was Bowers, Joe? He went 13 to the Raiders.
Okay.
Yeah. How much of a consideration was he at 11?
He was obviously a consideration throughout the process, and again, one of the best players in the country, one of the best players in the draft, and it's a tough decision, really. I mean, because we ultimately nine non-quarterbacks that we just felt were going to develop into really high impact players, and so it was a tough choice, but felt like Olu was the right choice for us, just with his production, his ability to play left tackle, and his makeup.
There were a handful of really good tackles when you were picking.
Yeah.
What separated Olu from the Fuagas and Falcones?
Yeah, all great players. It was such a unique draft class at the tackle position because we really felt that there was a handful of guys that were unbelievable players, and so with Olu, I mean, obviously him being a left tackle, just what he does in pass pro, his production in pass pro, guys, very low pressure rates, playing in one of the top conferences in the country. He's just a really high-level, high-impact pass protector. And I don't think he gets enough credit for his run blocking. Just a big, giant body, 6'6", 315 pounds, with long arms, and he's a very tough, competitive young man.
So if there was a temptation to go up a little bit, I know you didn't have the second round to get all that, but to try and get one of those skill position guys, how much was the temptation that was there? And obviously a lot more draft to go, but is there a concern that skill position needs to be addressed?
No, I feel great about the guys in the room. I mean, obviously we having Garrett and Mike's looking great out here, but look, if there's an opportunity to improve that position, we're going to look at it. I mean, obviously you saw kind of in that middle of the top 10, a lot of teams stayed and picked. So all great players that have been selected in that range. So we'll see what tomorrow brings.